getting that, all you have to do is just do a dive kick.
But I could easily see, like, will the Switch 2, or whatever the heck it is, have as crazy numbers as the Switch? Look at it mathematically. What are the chances that the thing after Gangbuster does amazing? The Wii did amazing. The thing after that, the Wii U, did not do amazing.
So this is the reason why we need a Bone Arc. Bone Arc lets us go over these spikes, and it looks weird, like we can go through this gap right here too. And this is a secret area, which gives us the actual armor that I want to use.
And I'm not saying the Switch 2 or whatever is going to be a failure, but it's really, 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 really hard to continue as a video game company the success, you know? Like, if you talked to me in 2010 and was like, because the Xbox 360 killed the PS3. I don't care what the overall worldwide sales total by the end of the thing said. The 360 won the generation, right? It just did. And if you came to me in 2012 or whatever and was like, hey, the Xbox One's going to be, like, kind of a big failure, I'd be like, yeah, kid, sure. You know what I mean? Or if you went to me in 2005 with the PS2 being so big and then said, hey, the PS3 is going to be a pretty big failure, I'd be like, sure.
You know PS3 what I mean? Is definitely the one that I'd be like,
Right, exactly.
But even, I mean, the 360 had a really weird life cycle where it did really good in the beginning. It really benefited off of Sony's incompetence, too.
Still, I felt like it had a lot of good games and stuff. I'm not a Microsoft fan in the least. I guess you are correct. The PS3 one would be the most ridiculous to be like, hey, PS3 is gonna, like, really fall on its butt. You'd be like, okay, kid. But, it's the same thing with the Switch. It sounds stupid in the end of 2023, but if someone was like, hey, the new Switch, the Switch 2 or whatever, is, like, not gonna be that great, like, I sit here now and go, no way, looking at how the Switch is, but, like, it totally could be. I mean, the Wii, look at the top-selling systems of all time, the Wii and the PS2. The next systems after that, I don't want to use the word failure, but they weren't nearly as big as the one before. The PS3 to the PS2 and the Wii U to the Wii. Yeah. And there's different reasons. I don't want to say it's just, you know, the Wii U, the marketing was awful, and the tablet is awful as an idea.
So, to play devil's advocate here, I think the big difference with the Switch is that the Wii was a really popular console, but it really fell off in terms of software sales, because it was, I mean, it was appealing to the casuals with, like, Wii Sports and stuff, but, like, once people got their fill with that, and, they would just buy the Wii, get Wii Sports, and that's it. And software sales started to decline heavily by the late 2000s into the 2010s.
That's fair.
But the Switch is still doing good, and games still sell amazingly. Tears of the Kingdom has already sold more than 10 million copies worldwide, and I don't even think that's a good game. Wonder is doing gangbusters.
Tears of the Kingdom, as far as our store is concerned, was the game that we ordered the most copies for brand new since GTA 5.
Yeah. And I think it's
that's huge.
I think Nintendo really just has to not do something stupid, and that's asking a lot from Nintendo. But if they just make the Switch 2 a more powerful Switch and really bridge that gap of performance, and I think they really do have to, because we're getting to the point where the Switch is pretty handicapped compared to other consoles.
Do you think their thing should just be like a more user-friendly Steam Deck at this point?
I think they should just not do anything super crazy. Just make the Switch 2, make it more powerful.
Like the Steam Deck.
Yeah, and maybe do some sort of, like, headlining feature, but don't focus the entire console around it. Don't do a 3DS.
Where it was all about the fact that it was
just do a Game Boy Advance. Like, the Game Boy Advances, in isolation, didn't sell nearly as well as the original Game Boy, but it was only the prominent portable system for Nintendo for, like, 3 years before the DS came out. So I think that's sort of an unfair comparison. And I think the Game Boy Advance was, like, one of those, like, perfect systems where it was just a better Game Boy. It really did well, despite it only being the prominent one for 3 years, while the Game Boy was like the prominent portable for better part of a decade. So I don't think the Switch 2 is going to do as well as the Switch, but as long as they don't do something stupid and they keep the good games coming out and you keep the goodwill of the consumer up, I think it will do really well. Just don't do a Wii U. Don't do some sort of disastrous gimmick. Don't do a 3DS where another stupid gimmick ruins the system. Just make it...
What if they do, like...
Put Prime 4 as a launch title.
What if they do, like, I'm trying to think of what gimmick they could do. What if they do, like, a VR type gimmick? Yeah. That's the first one that comes to mind, right? It's just like...
But, like...
Hey, the Switch 2 focuses on VR. It's like, no.
If they do something disastrously stupid, I wouldn't even be surprised. They do it over and over. They always have to feel like they have to innovate. Over and over. And it's just like, no, just make a good system.
I think that... I've never heard a Nintendo fan say, like... I've heard them, like Trev just said it now, like, hey, it'd be nice if the Switch was, like, a little bit like a stronger system. But I've never heard them be like, oh, it has to be as strong and as graphically intensive as, like, the PS5 or whatever. No one's ever asking for that.
If the Switch screen was still 720p for the Switch 2, I would not care. Just make every game run at 60 FPS. Make Tears of the Kingdom run at 60 FPS.
Oh, yeah, that'd be...
I don't even care if it's 1080p, although I bet that would be memed on, like, so hard.
Oh, like the fact that it's not, like, 4K or whatever.
But also, the Steam Deck is also only 800p.
I didn't know that.
The Steam Deck's a really weird resolution. It's 16 by 10 instead of 16 by 9, so it's technically 720p. But it's 800p because it's 16 by 10. But I think it's a perfect middle ground. The screen resolution is great. It doesn't make the battery life a disaster. Alright, we have to do one more small grind. Just equip Ghost Dancer. Actually, I can't equip 3 7s because then my intelligence will not be good enough. But it's this guy right here, the Dragon Nazo.
Oh, so you can just do that?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's why I really like Witch.
The one thing that Nintendo is so awesome at is realizing that it's all about their games. Whereas Sony is okay about that, and Microsoft clearly is not about that at all.
Sony has really developed into, like, they only care about huge titles.
Right. There's, like, no double A's or whatever.
So I got one. I need to get another one, because this is part of the Great Sword line.
Yeah, the, whatchamacallit, the,
Nice.
Oh, nice. It's...
So Dragonazo is one of the best Yellow Souls in the game. Makes us not flinch to almost any attack. It's sort of a double-edged sword because you can also take damage way quicker, but Dragonazo plus Black Panther, which is the dash ability we'll get later in the game, is like one of the best like combos you can do. But I won't be using it like too much. Alright. What were you saying?
Oh, no, I don't like to take sides with the whole Sony versus Microsoft thing because they're so just annoying, but...
You want to do this?
Yeah. Julius, what are you doing? Huh?
Oh.
Oh, it's you. This door is sealed by a powerful barrier. Something's behind it, too. Do you sense something bad? Yes.
Yes.
I can feel it in my gut, and it doesn't feel good. Unfortunately, it's impossible to check what's behind the door. Why is that? The barrier's too strong. I may be able to crack it, but just a bit.
This is some compelling dialogue.
It'd be better to contact Yoko and await help. What about you? Well, I described what I had discovered to Julius. The Dark Lord's candidates. It sounds as if it should be my next target. I will see about joining Articart.
Okay, see ya.
But yeah, I wish Sony would just come out with more than, like, it seems like nowadays they're, like, content with having one really, 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 really big, like, game a year. Like, it was Spider-Man in
It was literally just Spider-Man.
October. But, like,
year.
that's... To me, that's not enough. Because it's like,
nope.
Dude, just make something like, I know game design and stuff is, like, really tough and all that, but, like, try to make, like, 3 quality AAA titles a year. Like, it doesn't have to be Last of Us or God of War or whatever level, but like.
But it
just,
really
like,
seems like Sony only cares about big AAA games now. But for the competition, it's better than Microsoft, which is literally nothing. And that's why I think Sony kind of has like the perfect reason to be complacent and kind of lazy, because their competition is pathetic.
I mean, Microsoft is doing the same thing as Disney has done for the last like 5 years, which is just, instead of like innovating, just buying up everyone and then being like, "Hey, work for us," or well, not work for us. We own you now. We're gonna make whatever, and it's just like, okay, that's not innovation. Buying up all these companies isn't innovation. Buying up Bethesda is not innovation.
Yeah, but when you have big FU money, doesn't matter.
Since Starfield was Xbox only, do you think they would possibly do like all the Elder Scrolls and Fallout from now being Xbox only?
I don't know.
It would just be so crazy if, like...
I think they've committed not to do Call of Duty as an Xbox exclusive. I think it's just like... I don't know, you're hampering your sales so much for very little reason, because it's really shown over and over again that if you have a not very compelling system... Oh, by the way, this is one of my favorite bosses
Let's go.
in any Castlevania. If you don't have a compelling system, people are just not going to care it or buy it, despite no matter how many games you have on it. Great Armor, I want to do... Oh boy, Mana Core. I can't believe I got this black belt. That's such a lucky drop.
I just don't understand why they,
should I do that or Bloody Stud?
They're just so hardcore about Game Pass, and they just... Oh, I've seen this boss before.
This boss is awesome.
They just devalue the game so much. That's one thing I'll give Nintendo. They would never, ever, ever be like, "Oh, Mario Brothers Wonder, yeah, it's on our Nintendo Switch Online or whatever." Never, because they don't devalue their stuff. They know what it's worth, you know. So to take a game like Starfield and be like, day one Game Pass.
Yeah, Nintendo's the complete opposite. Like. The true opposite to Nintendo is, oops. Oh. No! Okay.
Did you almost die?
He might have double hit me.
Whee!
This is such a cool boss.
This reminds me of some bosses I fought in Order of Ecclesia. There was a lot of, like, vertical type bosses. That hurt you?
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Is that an unavoidable damage?
No, you can definitely do
it. Okay.
You just have to not be 2 inches from him. He has not done his laser move at all.
But yeah, I just do not understand it.
There we go.
It's just like,
Why did I do that? Okay.
It's kind of like these platforms like Netflix, like, devaluing their stuff by being like, "Hey, here's Stranger Things, we spent $1 billion trillion on it. Day one streaming, baby!" At least with that, they cut it up into 2 parts for the season, so you get like 2 months of subscriptions out of people. But I cannot fathom putting like $100 million into a game and being like, $10 a month, sign up, you can play the whole thing. It's like, dude, that's such a devaluing.
Yeah. And I just don't think that they're actually making any money. I think it's just one of those sunk cost things that they're hoping that they can raise their
I don't know what the sales numbers were, but Spider-Man 2, at least for us, sold pretty well. And look at it, like, if a game is good and people like it, they're willing to pay the $70 or 60 or whatever you want to put on it. Like, Sony, to their credit, wasn't like, "Oh, we gotta put Spider-Man 2 on PlayStation, whatever, plus Ultra," whatever they call it, I don't care. Yeah, I hope Microsoft doesn't go away, because only having only having two major video game companies that make systems would be actually awful.
But in my opinion, I think Microsoft is the absolute worst type of competition you can have, because Microsoft doesn't even need to do well. They have so much money that it doesn't matter. They can just do whatever they want.
It's true, but then you would only have Nintendo and Sony, and they're so different companies that they don't. At least Sony and Microsoft are like constantly battling each other. But if it's Sony and Nintendo only, their clientele is so different that they wouldn't have. It would essentially be a monopoly, unless for some reason Nintendo completely changed, which is like not likely to happen. Yeah. Right. Like, I would be so surprised if Nintendo's like, we're focusing on cutting edge technology. Screw fun games. It would be like, Nintendo fans would not be happy. I will be right back. I kind of smell something burning and just want to make sure that they are cooking and not burning something.
Just you and me, folks. What do I do now? Do I just go immediately to the clock tower? Yeah, because I already went down to the water level. Alright, yeah. So we just got the gate key. The gate is actually down here. Did they burn down the house?
It was bagels, and I got in trouble for asking if they were making something. They yelled at me, they said, "It's a freaking bagel." I smell kind of burning, so I just want to make sure. Ooh, just in time. You've only come this far. You seem to be taking this rather leisurely. What are you trying to say? Dario has grown stronger by fusing with the demon of fire I summoned for him. I see. Is that your plan?
Okay.
Soma, back off!
Nice portrait.
Arcado! Julius, too! Your presence is without meaning. No one can stop Dario now. The emergence of the new Dark Lord is all but certain now.
Hey, Julius, you're 2 inches away from her. Just swing your whip.
Julius! I'm sensing a surge of magical power coming from the river. It must be Dario. You go after him. I'll track down Cilia. How do you track down someone who just constantly teleports?
Yeah.
Soma, from here on, you stay away and let us take care of it.
No, you guys are so incompetent. You don't do anything. Someone might be charisma void, but at least he does something.
Also, unless they bring him back, what was the point of having like two? How do I say this? Two people that were working for that girl, Dario, and the other one. If you were just gonna kill the one in like 5 seconds.
Wouldn't you like to know?
Okay, they're gonna actually do something good. Because I was like, what's the point? Kill him off in like one early battle.
Great armor.
I hope it's something like they fuse together and they do the fusion dance, and then you have Dario and his quick to temper, and then the other guy being like, oh ho ho ho, I'm Fraser Crane.
This room sucks. On hard mode, there's only gold Medusa heads. Okay.
Gold Medusa heads just have more HP or whatever.
They turn you to stone.
Ah. The one single one. Ree! Da-da-da-da-da. Where's Bloody Tears? Where are my Bloody Tears?
Eventually. I'm actually not sure if Bloody Tears is in this game.
3 out of 10 is the best I can do. Is that mirror just there? Like there's nothing about it? Like you can't break it or go into a void or something?
What?
That mirror that was in there?
Wouldn't you like to know?
God dang it! I keep figuring out things that are things. Ooh, first one.
Yeah, being able to enter mirrors is very directly tied to the best ending of this game.
Ah. The other reason I was wondering is why put that in there and then also,
Thank God. I hate that room.
Also animate it that you can, like, see the reflection. Like, what's the point otherwise? Ooh, we got a 6-pointer. It looks like that S that every kid draws on their on their notebook
Get away
at school.
from me, dude. I'm glad I used that potion. I'm gonna use another one.
You wouldn't dare.
Why do I keep unequipping Puppet Master for Hellbore, which I'm not even gonna use?
You know what? I was gonna ask the exact same freaking question.
Let us not die. The save point is really close. Okay. One room away from the save point. I'm playing so bad.
We literally got
Oh,
this.
look at our boy. Guess what's happening next?
Yo, that little thing flying in the background is cool as heck.
Alright, so definitely Hellbore, Black Belt. Can't wait to fight him, dude. Classic Clock Tower. Of course we know what's gonna happen. Oh wait! It's not death! You got baited, son.
Dario!
He's not Dario.
Oh, this isn't?
No.
I was just guessing because he had the red hair and was like...
It is kind of a similar...
He's fused or whatever. I also figure...
Let us not die.
I also figure if it was Dario, they would have some sort of dumb cutscene.
This is... fair.
Yeah.
Playing like trash today.
You are already dead.
This guy does seem sort of like a JoJo reference. I mean, it really seems like it's directly a reference to Dio, who both use knives and time stop. I would not be surprised. There's already a JoJo reference in Aria Sorrow with one of the souls.
Stop time.
So that's sort of like the stopwatch, and just like stopwatch in Castlevania, it's junk.
I know absolutely nothing about JoJo. It's a thing, and
I can't believe you talked about it despite having no idea.
Wait, You're Already Dead is
oh yeah, that's
Fist of the North Star, which I actually have watched the movie, and it's really antiquated. I'll say that.
Yeah, it came out way before Dragon Ball.
Yeah, it was like the 70s, so the animation style is rough.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
they
I kind of enjoyed it.
They didn't start pumping money into anime productions until the 80s.
I also watched Akira, the movie, and it was pretty good.
Akira is the definition of them pumping money into animation. That was during the Japanese, like, economic bubble, where they were just making money hand over fist, and they were just putting money into, like, anything that moves.
Makes sense.
Alright, so this is a,
I mean, hence Nintendo with the Famicom and everything.
this is one of the souls that we need for the best ending. I'm just gonna get it now, so I don't have to worry about it.
This random thing is one of the freaking souls you need for the best ending.
I think it's better than Killer Clown. Literally a clown soul.
Oh, Clown's the one you need too?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Let's put on this stats. Thanks. Nice. Cool. And the other one is Axe Armor, which we already have, thankfully.
Nice. So you just need what, Killer Clown? Killer Clown from outer space?
No, we already got Killer Clown.
Oh, nice.
Remember when you were like, this is not it? And
Oh,
then we got it.
yeah. Excellent.
What times? I'll do this next area and then call it.
What percentage are we done with the map?
On paper, 48. But there's only a few areas left in the game.
Yeah. And I know, as we said before, this isn't 100% run or anything like that. I was just more for my curiosity. Da-da-da-da. I really like that pirate. Dead pirate.
It's pretty cool. His soul, if we ever see it, is a yellow soul, and it increases damage if you attack an enemy by behind, which is pretty good for great swords, because you can do that really easily.
What just happened there?
Time stopped.
Oh, because you have time stop.
Because the time stopped, and we had to restart it with Zephyr. But you see the bunny. The bunny is from Arya's Sorrow, which I think is called, like, I forget what it's called. But yeah, if you go here without Zephyr, you can't do anything.
It's pretty cool. I like that.
Here's the music, son. This area is like modern.
Why are you fighting skeletons?
Yeah, this area doesn't have very high level enemies, and it's also sort of a replica of Castlevania 1 for some reason. I guess they just wanted to be like, hey, remember Castlevania?
Remember Castlevania? Oh yeah, I remember.
Oh my god.
You're taking 5.
Because I'm poisoned. Yeah,
Poison also takes away your attack. Oh my god.
Yeah, it reduces the attack and intelligence to like the minimum or halved.
There's something strong.
This area is pretty short, yeah, and it has a lot of weird enemies that aren't strong at all.
Da-da-da-da. Ugh. Julius! I'm fine, don't worry.
Sure.
What? You done already? So much for the legendary Belmont. Talk all you want. Hey, punk! Looks like I can get me a little payback from you. But I'm not at full power just yet. The throne chamber on the top floor. You were heading there, weren't you? That's where we'll settle scores once and for all.
Julius just jobs to that random guy.
Watch it. He's tough, especially for me, since I can't use magic seals.
Why can't you?
Hold on, Julius. You can't use magic seals? Uh-huh. What about it? Well, didn't you run into monsters that you couldn't destroy? No, I destroyed them before they could reconstitute. They weren't a problem. But this time, I don't think that'll work. You've got to be joking. That should have been impossible. Forget about me. You can go on. I'll be fine. He's expecting me. I'll be on my way. Watch out for his fire attacks, but you can do it. Don't disappoint me. Got it.
So they were trying to like play up Julius being strong, but like, why can't he use magic seals? It's just like some random thing.
Yeah, I don't. Kind of weird. Is this like a passing of the torch kind of thing? I mean, I guess.
I mean, Julius is like, he has to be in his like late 50s because he killed Dracula in 1999. The year is 2036.
Oh wow, yeah.
He probably killed Dracula when he was like 21, like his peak of his body or something. So he has to be like nearly 60, if not 60 already.
That feel when Dracula's final death isn't in a freaking game.
Yeah, maybe they
just blows me away.
Maybe they had a plan before like Konami like killed the series. I can only assume so.
How can you just do that? It would be such an awesome thing.
So this is the first boss we're going to be using Dragonazo, because we're just going to be tanking this as hard as possible. So, full disclosure, we're playing this on an emulator. I know, I'm going to heck. But this emulator called Melon DS doesn't do things properly for certain things. And this boss is called Bat Company, which is a culmination of a bunch of bats that makes a shape of a big bat. But this emulator can't do it right, and it makes the boss 1,000 times harder because it just becomes this big mass of bats, and you cannot tell what's going on. So what we're going to be doing is using Dragonazo. We're just going to be, like, just taking hits, and just hoping that Hellbor can just kill it. So, this boss is really hard just because I'm playing on emulator. And I guess the other emulator can do it, because I watch people play on emulator, and it doesn't look like this. I don't know.
So it shouldn't look like that,
It shouldn't look like this. Wow, it just stayed there.
Scintillating gameplay.
But yeah, it's supposed to look like a big back. You can kind of see it on the portrait of it.
Oh, and that's still kind of weird.
But it is so much harder because the emulator can't do it right. And I don't know why. Alright, so Bat Company lets us obviously transform into a bat, which gives us a lot of aerial movement. The most movement, you could say. So
we can't stop here. It's Bat Country. Also a based Avenged Sevenfold song, which I think was on a GH game we played recently.
Yeah, I'll call you.
Alright guys, guess what? That's it for today. Are we finishing next time?
Yeah.
We'll be finishing Dawn of Sorrow next time.
There's actually only 2 more areas of the game.
Oh,
wow. There's 4 bosses, 2 areas, but I do have to do the hardest grinds next to get the Clan Slayers.
Let's go! You love to see it. Alright guys, next time we'll beat Dawn of Sorrow. We'll see what's up with Dario and the other guys, and I'll do some voice acting. Funimation, you can still hire me. Just send us an email to the email on the thing. Okay, bye!